I want to welcome everyone here to Friday Night Folk. Isn't this exciting? It is such a joy to have people in front of performers, isn't it? It is such a joy. And Sally Rogers, I'm not going to say too much because Jeff Kaufman is going to introduce her, but it is such a joy to have her. Now, just make sure we turn off our electronic devices. However, you can make sure that they are quiet. And after you do that, I will make sure that you know where all the emergency exits are. If you look to your right in the back, you'll see there's exits right there. There's actually one through the kitchen that's behind there. And of course, there's exits as you came through. Of course, the door you came in through. And there's one about halfway down the hallway. So just to make sure you know where all the emergency exits are. The other thing is I want to make sure you know where the bathrooms are. Because if you go down that hallway that you came down, about halfway down on your right going out, the ladies' room is first and the men's room is next. And if those are both too full, there's bathrooms back there as you came in at the foyer. Friday Night Focus depends on people like you to be here, to keep music alive. So these performers like Sally Rogers and Seat of Our Pants are still going, and Jeff Kaufman still have a place to perform in front of live audiences. And we're so excited to be here, and I hope you're so excited that you will want to be back next year. We're going to start again next September, and I'll go over the people that we have next year. So, Jeff, come on up, and thank you, Friday Night Folk.
Well, I asked to introduce Sally, not because I had much to say necessarily. You could go on and on and on about her incredible career and her voice and her multi-talents in terms of the instruments she plays and the other talents she has, like weaving and various other things, and cooking too, actually. But the fact is, number one, we have a real debt of gratitude for Sally coming to fill this spot because other people had backed out. So thank you for filling this slot for us and giving us the chance to enjoy your music. But beyond that, Penny and I feel particularly blessed to have Sally as a good friend and a part of a community of musicians that are so special to us. And actually that's part of what is going on here, is the community of people that we bring to perform here are a part of a larger community. And we were just speaking about this over dinner, but there's so little in the way of making community in this new age that we are living in. That I would suggest you read Wendell Berry's The Need to Be Whole. And it talks about the division of community once industrialization came in and so on. But what's wonderful about Friday Night Folk and the chance to present people like Sally is that we have that community here. And it's so special to us. And then, in particular, to hear the music of someone like Sally. So Sally Rogers, with no further ado.
Thank you. So I'm wearing a mask because I didn't want you all to think I was walking around with COVID. I have a cough and I have a cold, and sometimes a cold is just a cold. And today it was just a cold. I checked 4 times. I've used almost all of my free tests, and so it's just a cold. But I'd like to start out with a song that I wrote. My challenge to myself was to write a song with 1 line only. And so that's what I did. And your part It goes like this. We are welcomed, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the song that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the song in our hearts. The sentence is, we are welcome to this world by the song that's in our heart. And then there's a little parenthetical clause in the middle. And then the only thing that changes from verse to verse is the word song. We'll pull out the word song and put in a bunch of other words, and I'll give you fair warning on that. So it starts out, we are welcomed, we're welcome to this world. Let's give it a shot. We are welcomed, we're welcome to this world by the song. We're welcomed to this world by the song that's in our heart, by the song that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the song in our hearts. Now with joy. We are welcomed, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the joy that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the joy in our hearts. Hope. We are welcomed, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the hope that's in our hearts. We've been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the hope in our hearts. Love. We are welcomed, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the love that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the love in our hearts. Song. We are welcomed, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the song that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the song in our hearts. We're welcome to this world by the song in our hearts. Well, on my little song list, I had this song that from an album way a long time ago that I made, a song that Bradley Kincaid sang, and I learned it from my buddy Martha Burns, who I just saw. AJ was there too. Just saw Martha Burns at a little festival last weekend, and it reminded me that I used to know this song, and I didn't have time to relearn it, and I had all the words out where I could see them, but now they're this big. So I'm just going to sing it to you because, especially coming to you without having COVID but having a cold, I thought this was a perfectly wonderful song to sort of sum up the last couple of years of COVID, even though this song is from like the teens or 20s. I can't remember how old. It goes, in these days of indigestion, it is oftentimes a question as to what to eat and what to leave alone. Every microbe and bacillus has a different way to kill us, and in time they all will claim us for their own. There are germs of every kind in every food that you can find in the market or upon the bill of fare. In drinking water's just as risky as the so-called deadly whiskey, and it's often a mistake to breathe the air. For some little bug is gonna find you someday. Some little bug will creep behind you someday. Then he'll send for his bug friends, and all your troubles, they will end. For some little bug is gonna find you someday. the inviting green cucumber, it's most everybody's number, while the sweet corn has a system all its own. Now that radish seems nutritious, but its behavior is quite vicious, and a doctor will be coming to your home. Eating lobster cooked or plain is only flirting with ptomaine, while an oyster often has a lot to say. And those clams we eat in chowder make the angels sing the louder, for they know that they'll be with us right away. For some little bug is gonna find you someday. Some little bug will creep behind you someday. Then he'll send for his bug friends, and all your troubles, they will end. For some little bug is gonna find you someday. When cold storage vaults you visit, you can only say, what is it makes poor mortals fill their systems with such stuff? Now at breakfast, prunes are dandy if a stomach pump is handy, and a doctor can be called quite soon enough. Eat a plate of fine pig's knuckles, and the headstone cutter chuckles. And while the grave digger makes a mark upon his cuff, you know, they used to count how many they'd buried by how the marks were on their cuff. And eat that lovely red bologna, and you'll wear a wood kimono as your relatives start packing up your stuff. And all those crazy foods they fix, they'll float us across the river Styx or start us climbing up the Milky Way. And those meals they serve in courses mean a hearse and 2 black horses. So before meals, some people always pray. Luscious grapes breed appendicitis, while their juice leads to gastritis. So there's only death to greet us either way. Fried liver's nice, but mind you, friends will follow close behind you, and the papers, they'll have nice things to say. For some little bug is gonna find you someday. Some little bug will creep behind you someday. Then he'll send for his bug friends, and all your troubles, they will end. For some little bug is gonna find you someday. Do 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 da 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 da. Now, it's time for me to get dressed. OSHA requires that we have these straps. They have only time for dulcimer players. They bug us all the time, OSHA, you know. They'll just come and they'll fine you for not being strapped in. Safety laws and all. So, well, this song was written by Andra Horton, and it's about the making of wool, of yarn. And my sister's here tonight, and I promise I won't embarrass her too many times, but our grandmother was a very fine knitter and knit nonstop. And when she got close to the end of her life, she had all the little spare pieces, you know, from the yarn in a one of those chest, what do you call it? Hope chest, in a big old hope chest. And I'll tell you more about that later, but this song talks about how you turn, you know, sheep into yarn, or the sheep wool into yarn. I guess the sheep keep out of it. But what was I going to say? Oh, yes, it's ever so much more romantic than how they make acrylic fibers, you know. I mean, can you imagine, you know, getting a border collie to come and collect all of the pop bottles, you know, and get all the pop bottles together. Come on there, little pop bottles. And then you throw them in something and they melt it down and then extrude it in something, you know. It's just not the same, you know, just not the same. Oh, and it has a part for you to sing. Your part goes, from the wool, from the sheep, it was sheared, it was carded, it was spun, it was dyed, it was hung and sorted. wound into skeins until it could be knitted into clothes to keep us warm through the winter. Now I know that sounds like it's really a long chorus, but it's really not bad because just think about it. Half of it is it was, it was, it was. So if you just say it was every 3 beats or 4 beats, you'll be right on. So here's how it goes though. From the wool, where does it come from? Sheep. It was, what's the word for cutting on a sheep? Sheared. It was sheared. It was carded. It was spun. And then this is vats of dye. It was dyed. Then it was hung, and there's red, there's blue, there's green. Sorted, that's right. Wound into wonderful knitting word skeins until it could be knitted into one syllable. Clothes, to keep us through the, yes, okay, let's try it one more time. From the wool, it was dyed, and then it was, and wound into, until it could be, into, to keep us through the, no problem. Here we go, now we're gonna sing it. From the wool, from the sheep, it was sheared, it was carded, it was spun, it was dyed, it was hung and sorted, wound into skeins until it could be knitted into clothes to keep us warm through the winter. Lambs are a-bleatin' and the weather's getting warm. Coats are getting shaggy on the old sheep farm. Give them all a haircut, store the wool away. Time for knitting sweaters on a rainy day. From the wool, from the sheep, it was sheared, it was carded, it was spun, it was dyed, it was hung and sorted, wound into skeins until it could be knitted into clothes to keep us warm through the winter. Berries from the bushes make the reds and blues, onion skins for a browner hue. Boil them up in water, stir the wool around for the fine rich colors that are nature found. From the wool, from the sheep, it was sheared, it was carded, it was spun, it was dyed, it was hung and sorted, wound into skeins until it could be knitted into clothes to keep us warm through the winter. Oh, fall is a-comin' and the trees are wearing gold, hillsides ablaze and the air turns cold. We gaze upon our mountain with wonder and with pride. Time for knitting sweaters by the fireside. From the wool, from the sheep, it was sheared, it was carded, it was spun, it was dyed, it was hung and sorted, wound into skeins until it could be knitted into clothes to keep us warm through the winter. Snow is a-falling on the drifts like dunes, late night skiing in the bright full moon, cozy and snug and never feeling better than we felt that night in our mittens and our sweaters. From the wool, from the sheep, it was sheared, it was carded, it was spun, it was dyed, it was hung and sorted, wound into skeins until it could be knitted into clothes to keep us warm through the winter. Thank you. Well, as I mentioned, our grandmother knit like crazy, and when we were little kids, she would make us every year for Christmas. Everybody knew exactly what they were getting. There was always a little piece of a very small package about like this, and it was wrapped in what do you call that paper? The very thin tissue paper. Tissue paper, but the tissue paper usually had glitter on it, which was pretty cool. And then she wrapped it with the paper ribbon that you could curl with. And I mean, I can still see it. You probably can too. You can see it under the Christmas tree. And so we didn't open them because We knew what was inside, so we would save them for last. Well, we'd open them, and inside there was always a pair of mittens. And those mittens were one color with 2 white bands on the wrist. And when we were little, they also had a string on them that went through your coat and back over the top and down the other side. Well, for years we got those. And when I got to be about probably 7th or 8th grade, well, it wouldn't have been 8th grade because we lived where there were no mittens. We lived in Brazil in 8th grade, so we didn't need mittens. But the 9th grade probably is where it started. I said to Grandma, you know, Grandma, it's really nice you make us mittens every year, but you know, that string has got to go. It's just so embarrassing. And she said, all right. And that year, the mittens arrived with no string. And that was the year that I understood what it was to have one mitten. So that went on for a while because I was too embarrassed to say, Grandma, you know, you were right, and you should have put that on there. But when I got to college, I did, in fact, ask her to please start putting the string back on. And she did. And I had mittens, 2 mittens again. And, you know, for those interim years, it only took 2 years to get a pair, you know. So, anyway, she made those beautiful mittens. And then when she got to be about 92, I think it was about 92, or 90, actually, no, she was 90. I was living with her at the time. She was 90. She started taking out all those scraps of yarn because she had little bits of balls of things, and she started knitting scarves. And she'd knit and knit and knit and knit and knit. So the scarf that I had was literally 12 feet long. It was wonderful because I could wrap it around and around and around and around my head, and it was really super warm. It was always wool. And of course, when you breathed into it, pretty soon you had a glacier in the front, you know, and that glacier would sometimes calve and fall off onto the road in front of you, you know. So anyway, and then as time went on, her scarves got smaller and smaller and smaller. And then she stopped knitting. And then when she was 96, she passed away. Fast forward 10 years. There was a woman named, what's her name? Lived with Grandma. Oh, doesn't really matter, does it? Because you don't know her. Let's see. Well, nope. It'll come to me tomorrow. Nope. Dar lived with my grandmother, and she was wonderful. She was an artist, and so she would draw pictures of my grandmother. She would draw pictures of different things, and I still have some of those pictures that she drew. Well, one year after Grandma had passed, Dar said, she lived in Chicago, in that area, and so every now and then when I was driving through there, I'd give her a call, and she said, come on over, I have something for you. So I went over to Dar's house. We had lunch together, and then as I was ready to go, she said, I just have something for you. And she handed me a package wrapped in tissue paper with glitter on it and a little bow. And I looked at her and I said, is this what I think it is? And I opened it up, and there was a pair of red mittens with 2 stripes that Dar had been either given or found, I don't remember, but she had 1 pair left, and she passed it on to me, and I still have that pair made by the woman for whom this song was written. Oh, Agnes, won't you go with me? We'll be married in style. And you're going to have to help me because, as you notice, I don't really have that much voice tonight, so I'm counting on all of you to be my voice. Here we go. Oh, Agnes, won't you go with me? We'll be married in style, and we'll cross Lake Michigan, so blue and so wild. We'll cross over Lake Michigan till we come to the shore, and our orchards will blossom for our babies as they're born. Oh yes, I will go with you, leave Wisconsin behind, though my parents think little of my life on a farm. Oh, to leave the gay city life, to be buried on a farm, but I'll watch the orchards bloom bloom in spring, spend the winters warm in your arms. Oh, Agnes, won't you go with me? We'll be married in style, and we'll cross Lake Michigan, so blue and so wild. We'll cross over Lake Michigan till we come to the shore, and our orchards will blossom for our babies as they're born. 3 children he gave her, Curtis, Addie, and Dee, and their 4th child, little Gussie, came 10 years after these. And she raised them with a loving hand and with firmness of mind, and she raised them through troubled times, Agnes strong-willed and kind. Oh, Agnes, won't you go with me? We'll be married in style, and we'll cross Lake Michigan, so blue and so wild. We'll cross over Lake Michigan till we come to the shore, and our orchards will blossom for our babies as they're born. Now 70 years have gone and passed, like the fruit on the trees, and her children have children with babes on their knees, and they all join in the summertime on the Crystal Lake shore to greet lovely Agnes, now 12 years and 80. Oh, Agnes, won't you go with me? We'll be married in style, and we'll cross Lake Michigan, so blue and so wild. We'll cross over Lake Michigan till we come to the shore, and our orchards will blossom for our babies as they're born. Thank you. Well, my sister's visiting this whole week because when my mother passed away, she left behind diaries that she started writing when she was 13, and that she wrote every day until she died. And she was 84 when she died. And they were 5-year diaries, if you know what those are. They have 4 lines for every day, and there's 5 of that same day. So this page is all January 1 of year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all of January 2 and so forth. So we've started to transcribe them, and we figured, oh, well, we'll just spend a weekend and we'll get it done. Yeah. It's going to take us years to do this. It's unbelievable. But anyway, I don't know if it's because we're doing this or just in general, but I've been having more of those occasions where you look into the mirror and you see your mother coming back at you, It's like, how does this happen? I don't know. But yeah, it does happen. And my friend Lorraine Lee wrote this absolutely beautiful song in tribute to her own mother. And I'd like to share it with you. It's just called My Mother's Face. And this is not part of the song. Wait a minute. I was right. And I have to transpose everything now because I've never been a bass before. And it's a whole new, I just have a whole new appreciation for singing low. I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face. To my surprise, I recognize her humor and her grace through the looking glass. the past and present cautiously embrace. I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face. I can hear my mother's voice when I console a friend. I pour the tea my mom taught me. A cuppa helps transcend most any hurt, at least until the heart has time to mend. I can hear my mother's voice when I console a friend. And I can smile my mother's smile when the snow begins to fall. Muffled by the winter sky, I hear the wild geese call, and the old fox stops to listen to over on the old stone wall. I smile my mother's smile when the snow begins to fall. And so the seasons circle round before my changing eyes. The winter turns the meadow pond into a paradise of snow that drifts and dances every time the north wind sighs. And all the while spring is singing just beneath the eyes. Well, I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face. To my surprise, I recognize her humor and her grace. Through the looking glass, the past and present lovingly embrace. I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face. Yes, I look in the mirror. Thank you. We haven't gotten to the part about us yet. Well, we cheated, actually. We went and read all of our births. We read that day. 4 lines for the day your babies are born. You know, it's like 4 lines, that's it, you know. It said the weight, the time, and what you had for breakfast. Well, I think this song might be appropriate for when we actually get into the deep and gritty, dirty parts about us kids and how wonderful we were at home. There are pirates in their fetid galleons, daggers in their skivvies, with infected, tattooed fingers on a blunderbuss or 2. Signs of scurvy in their eyes, and only mermaids on their minds. It's from them that I'd expect to hear the F word, not from you. We sit down to have a chat. It's F word this and F word that. I can't control how you young people talk to one another, but I don't want to hear you use that F word with your mother. There are lumberjacks from Kodiak vacationing in Anchorage, enchanted with their pine tar soup and caribou shampoo, with 7 weeks back pay stuffed in their aromatic woolens. It's from them that I'd expect to hear the F word, not from you. We sit down to have a chat. It's F word this and F word that. I can't control how you young people talk to one another, but I don't want to hear you use that F word with your mother. There are militant survivalists with Gucci bandoleros, taking tacky khaki walkie-talkies to the rendezvous, trading all the latest armor-piercing ammo information. It's from them that I'd expect to hear the F word, not from you. We sit down to have a chat. It's F word this and F word that. I can't control how you young people talk to one another, but I don't want to hear you use that F word with your mother. There are jocks who think that God himself is drooling in the bleachers in a cold November downpour with a belly full of brew, whose entire grasp of heaven has a lot to do with football. It's from them that I'd expect to hear the F word, not from you. Nice harmonies, keep it up. We sit down to have a chat. It's F word this and F word that. I can't control how you young people talk to one another, but I don't want to hear you use that F word with your mother. Oh, there's unsavory musicians with their filthy pinko lyrics who destroy the social fabric and enjoy it when they do. With their groupies and addictions and their poor heartbroken parents. It's from them that I'd expect to hear the F word, not from you. We sit down to have a chat. It's F word this and F word that. I can't control how you young people talk to one another, but I don't want to hear you use that F word with your mother. Thank you. Well, this is another one that, whoops, hold on, I'm caught. This is a song that was, the melody comes from Stephen Foster. It's a song called Uncle Ned. And the words were written by Henry Box Brown. And he's gotten a lot of press lately, so you might know who he was. He lived in the 1840s. Love those chords, love them. So he lived in the 1840s, and he was a slave. He was born into slavery. He married a woman who also was a slave, and they had 4 children, and he watched as his wife and 4 children were chained and taken away from him on a wagon while he was at his work, and he thought he would kill himself. He just didn't want to live anymore. And instead, he happened to go and visit a Quaker man who built boxes, and he came up with this cool idea. He had him build a box 2 feet. Now imagine this. You might want to just put your hands out to figure this out. 2 feet by 3 feet by 2.5 feet. And he climbed inside, and he had himself shipped express to a Quaker community in Philadelphia. He was in Richmond, Virginia. It took 24 hours, which was, we hardly do that now, you know. And he used, I think, almost every form of transportation that there is in order to get there. I mean, he didn't, but the box traveled all these different ways, and it got tipped on its side and upside down and got thrown. And I mean, it was quite a difficult adventure. And the only reason we know about it is because he survived. When he got to Philadelphia, they opened the box up, and there he was. There's a wonderful lithograph of, like a drawing of what it might have looked like when he popped out of his box. If you just look up Henry Box Brown on Google, you'll find that. And you'll also find his his memoir. He wrote about it. He ended up, once he got to Philadelphia, he ended up making his living by traveling all over the country, and then eventually to England, where he also traveled and told his story. And he made a giant, like a scroll with the pictures. He had an artist paint the pictures, and it would scroll while he was telling the story. And he wrote the words to this song that are to the tune that Stephen Foster wrote. And I know this because of the singing of Lisa Null, who I have to mention. She passed away recently, but she was one of those people in the folk community who oops, I'm getting stuff up here. It's weird noises. If you can just turn off the, if it continues to do that, you can just turn it off, that one. Okay, thank you. Jesse is amazing on sound. Would you please give him a round of applause? It's one reason I look forward to coming back here, because I know the sound will be good. So, where am I now? There. There we go. So anyway, this is the song that Henry Box Brown wrote and sang on his travels, explaining his plight. Here you see a man by the name of Henry Brown, marched away from the south to the north, which he would not have done. They stole away his rights, and he'll never do the like anymore. Brown laid down the shovel and the hoe, down in the box he did go. No more slave work for Henry Box Brown, in the box by express he did go. Then the orders they were given, the cars to go along, roll along, roll along, roll along, down to the landing where the steamboat lay, to bear the baggage off to the north. Brown laid down the shovel and the hoe, down in the box he did go. No more slave work for Henry Box Brown, in the box by express he did go. When they packed the baggage on, they turned him on his head, and poor Brown liked to have died. There were passengers on board who wished to sit down, so they turned the box over on its side. Brown lay down the shovel and the hoe, down in the box he did go. No more slave work for Henry Box Brown, in the box by express he did go. When they got to the cars, they threw the baggage off, and down upon his head he did fall. When he heard his neck crack, he thought that it was broke, but they never threw him off anymore. Brown lay down the shovel and the hoe, down in the box he did go. No more slave work for Henry Box Brown, in the box by express he did go. When they got to Philadelphia, they said he was in port, and Brown then began to feel glad. He was taken on a wagon to his final destination, and left this side up with care. Brown lay down the shovel and the hoe, down in the box he did go. No more slave work for Henry Box Brown, in the box by express he did go. The friends gathered round and asked if all was well, as down upon the box they did rap. Brown answered them saying that Yes, all was well. He was then set free from his pain. Brown lay down the shovel and the hoe. Down in the box he did go. No more slave work for Henry Box Brown. In the box by express he did go. Thank you. Oops. Well, Connecticut, needless to say, was not free of slavery by any stretch of the imagination, and we have quite the history here in this state. And I was shocked when I moved to Pomfret to find that the townspeople of Canterbury had been particularly cruel to one woman. She was not black, but her students were. Her name was Prudence Crandall, and I hope every hand goes up when I say, how many of you have heard of Prudence Crandall? Yay, all right. Things have changed immensely from when I wrote this song. This song is based on a letter that Prudence Crandall received from the townspeople of Canterbury when she was 83 years old, and it was an apology from the town of Canterbury to Prudence Crandall for their horrible behavior when she had a school there. She was invited to Canterbury to start a school for the children of Canterbury, and then a girl named Sarah Harris, an African-American girl from Norwich, Connecticut, came and asked Prudence Crandall if she could matriculate in the school, and Prudence said, absolutely, of course. And so the next day, Sarah Harris came to school, and the day after that, Sarah Harris was the only one who came to school. All the townspeople kept their children home, and they threatened to close her school and all this. And so Prudence Crandall was very smart and clever. She said, okay, fine, we'll close the school. Good, great job. We'll just open a new one. And it was a school for the purpose of, as she put it, teaching young misses of color. And through the abolitionist network, she had 33 students in her school. I think it was 33. But it was a real challenge. They, when the kids would walk in the streets, the townspeople would throw rotten eggs and tomatoes at them, and through the windows in their school, in her house. And the doctor across the street would not treat any of her students. He said, send them to the vet. The church across the street would not let them come there, so they had to take a wagon 5 miles and over a river in order to go to church. And and there was many other things. They tried to burn her house down, they poisoned her well, blah, 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 blah. Lots and lots of things. You can Google it, you'll find out. But this is the letter that Prudence Crandall wrote to the townspeople of Canterbury upon receiving their apology and a payment of $400 a year as restitution for the way she was treated. Here wait a minute, I'm not sure I can sing it in B flat. Da 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 da. Can I do that? What? Down, good, okay. My sister is my vocal coach, and she's really good. Da 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 da. Maybe I'll go all the way. That's as far as it goes. Da da da. Yeah, we'll do it there. Here I sit in my 83rd year. I write this letter with ease. The sacrifice of time you have made has brought me solace and peace. I never asked for charity, only recess for the past. But my loss of home and livelihood could not dim my faith in God. I knew that justice would reign. This is your part, and it would be really great if you could sing it with me. I knew that justice would reign. I knew that peace would prevail. I knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. When Sarah Harris came to my door so many years ago, I never dreamed a town could scheme to hurt a person so. Teaching misses of color would become a state offense. I could not obey such an unjust law. It defied all common sense. I knew that justice would reign. I knew that peace would prevail. I knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. Well, you remember the townspeople's acts of slander and abuse. My well was poisoned, my house set on fire. No church nor shop could we use. My students suffered sorely, but they held their heads up high. Though every step brought taunts and jeers, whenever we passed by, they knew that justice would reign. They knew that peace would prevail. They knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. Papers all across the land. There's one line I can't remember. Anybody know it? Sometimes somebody out there does know it. You know, it helps when you get old and all. Let's see. Oh, da da da, oh, da 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 da. I passed. I had to pass a night in jail, though bail was offered to me. The papers all around the world reported my trial by jury. When the black law passed, the bells did toll in a church where we could not go. This news of a just recompense I greet with tears of joy. I knew that justice would reign. I knew that peace would prevail. I knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. I knew that justice would reign. I knew that peace would prevail. I knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. Thank you. I'm going to do one more song and then we can take a break. There are incredible edibles in the back. And there, you know what? I started saying that the other day and then somebody said, you can't say that anymore. And I guess I can't, huh? Ah, dang. It was such a good line, you know? Oh, well, there's stuff to eat in the back. And there's stuff to listen to in the back. But there's still audible edibles. So, well, this song was written based on the words of Dorothy Day. Dorothy Day, yes. Dorothy Day. And she said, there's no time, there's no time to be, there's no time to feel hopeless when there's so much work to do. It wasn't hopeful, it was hopeless. There's no time to feel hopeless when there's so much work to do. And I thought, oh, that's a good line for a song, so I stole it wholesale. And that's your chorus, too. That's your part. And I will take a break right after this song. You read a book, one word at a time, one word at a time. Read a book, one word at a time, until your book is through. You learn to swim, one stroke at a time, one stroke at a time. Learn to swim one stroke at a time, and then you can cross the pool. There's no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless when there's so much work to do. Try it again. There's no time to feel hopeless, Yeah, no time to feel, no time to feel hopeless when there's so much work to do. You walk 10 miles, one step at a time, one step at a time. Walk 10 miles, one step at a time until your journey's through. You build a house, one brick at a time, one brick at a time. Build a house, one brick at a time, and then you enjoy the view. There's no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless when there's so much work to do. There's no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless when there's so much work to do. We live our lives one breath at a time, one breath at a time. Live our lives one breath at a time until our time is through. We'll fix this world one mess at a time, one mess at a time. Fix this world one mess at a time. Together we'll all pull through. There's no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless when there's so much work to do. There's no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless, no time to feel hopeless when there's so much work to do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll take a short break. The food's back there and the CDs are over there.
We want to get started here. Before I introduce Sally again, just want to let you know about some other concerts that are coming up here in the near future. June 3rd, Pass the Guitar. It's going to be right here. It's a Saturday night. It's a fundraiser for the New London Homeless Hospitality Center. It's the one artist, one song, one guitar. And some of the performers will be Dogbite, the Carolines, moi, Vince Tuckwood, Cole Tattoo, Ann Castellano, Brian Wanowski, Ben and Nancy Parent, and Steve Elsey will be joining them, Frank Ritelli, Joe Glennon, and many others. So I hope you can do it. It's for a great cause. One artist, one song, one guitar. And advance tickets are $15 at the New London Hospitality Center.org donate. And one other thing's here. Is it happening here? Yes, right here. And I don't think I didn't tell you the time. I should know. It's 6:30 p.m. What's that? 3rd of June, yes, June 3rd. And then you might have seen the table in the back there. Rick and Joanne are back there, and Charlie King is going to be performing to promote the visit of the Golden Rule, the world's first protest ship which sails against nuclear weapons. Daytime sails on the Golden Rule are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the New London City Pier. Evening concert with Charlie King is 7 p.m. to 9:30. It's going to be at the St. James Episcopal Church Hall, 76 Federal Street, New London. On Saturday, Joyce Katzberg performing live with Hugh Birdsall and Mystic Paper Beast. And also on June 10th, rally with songs and speakers for a nuclear weapons-free world, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the New London City Pier. You can get this flyer in the back. It looks just like this if you're interested. I know I'm telling you a lot of things, but the last thing I'd like to do is promote next year's concert series. September, it's going to be All Souls Celebration of Music. It's people that are from All Souls will be performing. Last year was a big success. We raised over $1,200 for All Souls, and All Souls keeps this thing going. Friday Night Folk is so happy to have a place where we don't have to pay rent, we don't have to pay for electricity, we don't have to pay for anything other than bring you good music, and that's what we want to do. October is Laura Herskovitz, another, I believe she's a Connecticut State Troubadour. I think she just left. And then we have Zoe Lewis, who is a hoot. If you want to come here and have fun, she's a big star in Provincetown. Just a lot of fun. We had her about 5 years ago. Of course, Jeff Kaufman, and next April, I'm not going to tell you everything, but Tom Chapin will be here next April. So Tom Chapin. And of course, I almost left this out. Next May, would you stand, please? Drum roll. Brrr. I know, just half, but Seat of Our Pants will be with us. And they're great. You'll really enjoy them. Anyway, let me bring back Sally Rogers. Wasn't it a great first half? We got more for you. Sally Rogers.
Thanks to the guy who brought me the tea. I wandered off and totally forgot. And I came back, and here's this tea here that's wonderful. And I got tea too, so now I have two teas. Two teas. Hmm? It has honey. It has honey. Oh, that's great. That's fabulous. Okay. So. Just have to clean up my mess here. My mother would be horrified. Actually, she would be very proud of me tonight because I have shoes that match my outfit. Well, they match my earrings. That's as close as I get. Now, what was I going to do? Oh, yes. I thought I would do for you a song by Joel Mabus, who's a wonderful songwriter and performer from Michigan, back where I started my folk music roots. And, oops, this is just one of his many, many wonderful, wonderful songs. So, and it has a chorus for you. Hold on. There we go. Oh. Which key? Oh, that one. There we go. It goes like this. Love is a song. Love has got a melody. Sing it along with me. Love is a song. Love is a song. Love is not a short, short story. It goes on and on and on. Love is a song. Try that with me. Oh, love is a song. Love's got a melody. Love has got a melody. Sing it along with me. Love is a song. Love is a song. Love is not a short, short story. It goes on and on and on. Love is a song. Love is not a novel. Love is not a book for sale. Love is not a fairy tale. Love is a song. Love is not a drama. Love is not a one-act play. It's more than just the words you say. Love is a song. Your turn. Love is a song. Love has got a melody. Sing it along with me. Love is a song. Love is a song. Love is not a short, short story. It goes on and on and on. Love is a song. Love is not a lecture. Love is not a sermonette. Haven't you heard it yet? Love is a song. Love is not a fable. True love is not a mystery. Isn't it plain to see? Love is a song. Love is a song. Love has got a melody. Sing it along with me. Love is a song. Love is a song. Love is not a short, short story. It goes on and on and on. Love is a song. Love is a song. Love has got a melody. Sing it in harmony. Love is a song. Love is a song. Love is not a short, short story. It goes on and on and on. And on and on and on and on. Love is a song. It goes on. Love is a song. Well, this next song, oh, you know, I forgot to mention in the first set that the Chat with Your Mother, the F-word song, that one is written by Lou and Peter Berryman, and I want to make sure I credit them. So, but this next song is a traditional song, and I learned it from the singing of Tony Barron, who sadly passed away about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. And Tony he and John Roberts did more for bringing English folk song to this country than I think just about anybody. And then particularly Tony continued to find songs that were hiding in books, on shelves, places. And he found the songs of the Atwood family. I should say, actually, I believe Margaret MacArthur found those songs and passed them on to him. And then he worked with them, and he put out a wonderful album. In fact, you know that list that you're supposed to make of the 10 albums that you would bring to a desert island? Well, this would be one of them for me. And it's called On Cold Creek, I think, or On Cold, if anybody can remember the exact name. But it's Tony Barron and Keith Murphy together. And it's all songs from this Atwood family collection. And they're unusual versions of old ballads and stuff. And this is... it's just called The Shining Dagger, and it's bloody as heck, but that's the way they are, you know. And it's got this gorgeous melody that makes you think, oh, what a pretty song, you know. But there is a lot of blood in here, so if you don't like blood, you know, if you faint at the sight of blood, you better leave now, because it's got a lot. But it's I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what it is about this song that is what draws me to it, and I think it's the love of these two young people for each other, despite everything. You know, it's Romeo and Juliet essentially. Is this song? So I'll see if I can do it. Now there's one line that I'm not sure about. Hold on one sec. I'll just fake it. Oh yeah, you'll get a prize. You can win a prize if you can find out which line I forgot and faked. But if I forget a different line besides that one, that doesn't count. Awake, awake, you drowsy sleeper. Awake and listen unto me. Man, someone stands outside your window, a-weeping there most bitterly. Mary, she rose up on her drowsy pillow to see who calling her might be. Who did she spy but her own true lover, a-weeping there most bitterly? Oh, Mary, go and ask your father if you my wedded bride might be. If he says no, love, return and tell me, and I no more shall bother thee. It is no use to ask my father, for he is on his bed of rest, and at his side a shining dagger to pierce the heart that I love best. Well then, Mary dear, go and ask your mother if you my wedded bride might be. If she says no, love, return and tell me, and I no more will trouble thee. It is no use to ask my mother, for she too intends to set us free. So go, my love, and court another, and I no more will trouble thee. It's then he seized his own bright dagger and plunged it through his aching heart. Adieu, adieu, my darling Mary. Adieu, adieu, we now must part. Then Mary, she seized the blood-stained dagger and pierced it through her lily breast. Adieu, adieu, both mother and father, my love and I are now at rest. Oh, I can climb the tallest tree, love, and I can reach the highest nest, and I can love you when I'm with you, but not my love, who I love best, but not the love that I love best. It's too sad. Oh, what a sad song. Oh. My mother, one year, I wondered if this will be in the diary. One year, my mom got for Christmas from my aunt a book of John Jacob Niles' ballads. And it was a hardbound book that was really cool. And at the time, she was teaching 6th grade music. And she was all excited. She said, wow, a whole book of folk songs. This is great. So she started going through matricide, patricide, infanticide, death and destruction, cutting off her head and kicking it against the wall. I mean, you know, it's all in there. It's all in there. So this song was written by Neil, name, Neil. He has this wonderful Scandinavian name. I can't remember. Anyway, Neil, he wrote this song. And he's from Minnesota, or was originally from Minnesota. And he and his now ex-wife used to sing together. But this was one of the songs that they wrote. But they sang it in a calypso beat. And Claudia Schmidt and I sing this one together as well. And we've changed it around a little bit. But it's called Stargirls. And it's dedicated to women everywhere who are struggling to have their rights. And these days we think about the women in Iran, and particularly the ones that have been murdered for not wearing a hijab or not saying the right thing at the right time in the right place to the right person. So it's just called Stargirls. Let's see. All of the girls whose names will never be known. All of the girls whose choices were not their own. All of the girls who denied their share of the gold. All of the girls like cattle bought and sold. All of the girls who had to submit to a man. All of the girls the boys did not understand. All of the girls whose place at the table was barred. All of the girls who number more than stars. This is for you. I see you shine, sparkling like jewels in the night. Wherever I go, whatever I do, starlight in me is from you. All of the girls who could not tear the veil, all of the girls who tried and tried but failed, all of the girls who did not have their say when the holy writers took their words away. This is for you. I see you shine, sparkling like jewels in the night, wherever I go, whatever I do. Stardust in me is from you. All of the girls who raised their children up well, all of the girls who rose each time they fell, all of the girls who worked for the coming new day, all of the girls who knew the price they paid, all of the girls who somehow still kept the faith that all of their girls would find a much better way. You are the stars without words, and oh, I believe someday your voice will be heard. This is for you. I see you shine, sparkling like jewels in the night, wherever I go, whatever I do. The stardust in me is from you. Stardust in me is from you. Thank you. My mother said unto me, do you like my garden so fair? You may live in this garden if you'll keep the grasses green, and I'll return in the cool of the day. Your part goes, now is the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. This earth is a garden, the garden of my soul, and we'll walk in this garden in the cool of the day. Then my mother said unto me, do you like my pastures of green? You may live in this garden if you will feed my lambs, and I'll return in the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. This earth is a garden, the garden of my soul, and I will walk in this garden in the cool of the day. Then my mother said unto me, do you like my garden so free? You may live in this garden if you'll keep the people free. and I'll return in the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. Now is the cool of the day. This earth is a garden, the garden of my soul, and we'll walk in this garden in the cool of the day. Thank you. That song is by my friend and mentor, Jean Ritchie, who without Jean, you wouldn't have ever seen a mountain dulcimer, because she pretty much brought it back from near oblivion. It's an Appalachian instrument. This one was made high in the Appalachian Mountains in Santa Margarita, California. Thank you for laughing. It doesn't always happen in this country. So, let us give thanks for a bounty of people, for our children, who are our second planting, and though they grow like weeds and the wind too soon blows them away, may they forgive us our cultivation and fondly remember where their roots are. For generous friends with hearts big as Hubbard's and flowers bright as their blossoms. For feisty friends, tart as rhubarb and as indestructible. For crotchety friends, for crotchety friends, sour as rhubarb and as indestructible. For handsome friends who are gorgeous as eggplant and elegant as a row of corn. And for the others, plain as potatoes and as good for you. For funny friends who are silly as Brussels sprouts and amusing as Jerusalem artichokes. And for serious friends, complex as cauliflowers and intricate as onions. For friends unpretentious as cabbages, persistent as parsley, delightful as dill, endless as zucchini, and who, like parsnips, can be counted on to see you throughout the winter. For old friends nodding like sunflowers in the summertime, and for young friends coming on fast as radishes. And finally, for those now gone, like gardens past long since harvested, who fed us in their time, that we might have life thereafter. For all these, we give thanks. Repeat after me. Gonna plant me a garden. Gonna make it grow. Gonna water it well. Gonna weed and hoe. Gonna plant me a garden 'neath the sun above. And the seeds I'll plant are the seeds of love. Keep it up. Gonna plant me a garden. Gonna make it grow. Gonna water it well. Gonna weed and hoe. Gonna plant me a garden 'neath the sun above. And the seeds I'll plant are the seeds of love. Gonna plant them in the yard for my friends to see. Gonna plant them for you. Gonna plant them for me. With a little bit of care, they'll grow to be flowering rainbows across the sea. And when they've grown from shore to shore, our sisters and brothers all around the world will harvest fruits brought by the dove. And in those fruits are the seeds of love. Gonna plant me a garden. Gonna make it grow. Gonna water it well, gonna weed and hoe, gonna plant me a garden neath the sun above. And the seeds I'll plant are the seeds of love. And the seeds I'll plant are the seeds of love. Love. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, decisions. Hey, Jesse, I'm going to change dulcimers. So I'm going to unplug this one, but it should work. It worked. Ha! Did you notice that it didn't make any sound? Cool, huh? This is, a dulcimer without a strap. Ocean will be on me in a second. Okay, wait, I'm gonna put this here. Hold on. Time to get dressed again. What happened to the other end? It's over here. Okay, we find that end, we put it in here. I think it's in. Is it in, Jesse? Yeah? Okay, so this is my bass dulcimer, and Claudia, my buddy, calls it the Countess Basie, which I really like that name. This also was made in the Appalachian Mountains in Santa Margarita, California. So. Really, it is just a cold. It really is just a cold. It started out with that. It started out with pollen, and then it went from there. Especially since mostly what I do these days, I work with 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Need I say more? Okay. So this song was written quite a few years back, in the late 90s. I was asked to write the music and the words for 4 folk operas in a Mennonite community in Newport News, Virginia. And it was one of the most amazing experiences I ever had. It was life-changing, and particularly life-changing because of Esther Mabel Yoder, who was, she collected hundreds of oral histories in their community. There were 6 Mennonite churches in this community. One was a black church, which started out, it was the first integrated church in Virginia, I think, ever. And now it's become all black, which is an interesting history too, and not the history that you would think. And these folk operas brought all of the 6 communities together to perform and to tell their stories. And when I met Esther Mabel, she was recovering from breast cancer, and then she continued to struggle with it, but then it seemed like it was gone and gone and gone. So we figured it was gone until it wasn't gone again. And it came back, and this time it took her. And when she died, I couldn't make it to the funeral, and I was really bummed because, there are certain people who you really want to say goodbye to and acknowledge them. And she was one of them. And I swear to God, she just stepped into my room and dropped this song in my lap, because the day before her memorial, this song dropped in my lap, whole cloth. And I recorded it on the phone, and actually I'm not sure, because then in 1997, did they have phones? Oh no, this was in 2000. So I sent it to them, and an MP3 of it, and they played it at her memorial. So it's. It was written for her, but it's been used for many other people. We have lost so many in the folk music world lately, mostly due to age, but they have left behind so much wonderful material for us to enjoy and to pass on. So. Hold on. A quiet soul has left this earth in peace. In peace she leaves us here in quiet grief. In quiet grief we bid our last goodbye. Goodbye to one whose spirit flies. Her spirit flies to seek amazing grace, the grace that's found upon her master's face. We all shall join her in that heavenly place where all shall meet. We all shall meet her when our own time comes, the time when souls all gather making one. One heart, one soul, one life, one living song. Love has been here all along. A quiet soul has left this earth in peace. In peace she leaves us here in quiet grief. In quiet grief we bid our last goodbye. Goodbye to one whose spirit flies. Thank you. To do this in the order that I had it written there, it didn't make sense. Let's see. Oh, I mean that one. Okay, hold on. Just got to get out of this tuning into another one. This next song was written based on a speech that John Lewis gave after ending the sit-down strike in Congress a few years back in 2016, I believe it was, asking for common sense gun laws. And one of the things that he said a lot was, we have to find a way out of no way. And he also said, we got to make good trouble. I love that. I love that. So, I'll stand up. This is a stand-up song. Oops. So this has a chorus. It'll be obvious because it repeats itself a bazillion times, and that's where you come in. After you've heard it twice, you'll know that the third time is you. And then the next time you come around, you sing them all. So. There comes a time when you have to say something. There comes a time to make a little noise. There comes a time to end the silence. There comes a time to raise your voice. There comes a time when you have to move your feet. There comes a time to step into the fray. There comes a time for extraordinary action. There comes a time for a safer day, and your part goes. And now is the time. The time is now is the time. The time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way. And now is the time. The time is now is the time. The time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way, to make a way out of no way. There comes a time to be stronger than the bullets. There comes a time to be louder than the guns. There comes a time to shout for the victims. There comes a time to right those wrongs. There comes a time to hold the hand of your neighbor. There comes a time to end an endless war. There comes a time to turn tears to action. There comes a time to say no more. And now is the time. The time is now is the time. The time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way. And now is the time. The time is now is the time. The time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way, to make a way out of no way. There comes a time to say no to the NRA. There comes a time to ban automatic guns. There comes a time to keep guns out of angry hands. There comes a time to get it done. There comes a time when you say we've had enough. There comes a time to march in the streets. There comes a time for us to protest. There comes a time to save a heartbeat. And now is the time. The time is now is the time. The time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way. And now is the time. The time is now is the time. The time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way, to make a way out of no way. Thank you. I'm going to do a couple more songs. This one. This one I wrote a number of years back for our local Habitat for Humanity organization. And if any of you are involved with Habitat and you have a reason to use this song in your work, you feel free to take it and use it. And I gotta see what key. Normally I sing it in this key, but nah, I don't think tonight. Let's see. I think that's a good place for it. I think we'll leave it right where it is. So, and unlike the rest of the songs tonight, this one has a chorus. And your part. Your part goes, we will build this. I hope you can sing as low as I can today. All you have to do is get sick. I'll breathe on you, and then you can sing here, no problem. So, we will build this house with the strength of our arms, with the love of our neighbors. We will build this house. We will build this house as a shelter from all harm. With the open door of justice, we will build this house. A house of warmth, a house just right, a house to keep away the darkest night. A house of hope, a house of peace, a house where all within may safely sleep. We will build this house with the strength of our arms, with the love of our neighbors. We will build this house. We will build this house as a shelter from all harm. With the open door of justice, we will build this house. A house that's built to remind us all of how we are connected, whether great or small. A house of dignity, a house without shame, a house with walls bearing all our names. We will build this house with the strength of our arms, with the love of our neighbors. We will build this house. We will build this house as a shelter from all harm. With the open door of justice, we will build this house. We will build this house with the strength of our arms, with the love of our neighbors. We will build this house. We will build this house as a shelter from all harm. With the open door of justice, we will build this house. It seems so simple, it seems so sweet. A roof above you, enough food to eat. In this richest nation, on this world of care, how much do we need to have enough to share? We will build this house with the strength of our arms, with the love of our neighbors. We will build this house. We will build this house as a shelter from all harm. With the open door of justice, we will build this house. We will build this house. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to end with a song that my sister requested, and I think I know it all, but I'm not sure, and I had it all printed out, of course, before I came here, but did I remember the notebook in which it was written? No, I left that at home on the divider. So, but I think I have it here, and if I do, I can sing it for my sister. I should mention, my sister is why I'm here today, because despite a cold, I'm able to sing for you because she worked with me today. She's great. She's a voice teacher, and she teaches old women like me. She teaches anybody post-menopausal. She teaches the Ageless Singer, and it's the best class. I've taken it 5 times. And so let's see. Wait, here we look it up. Stars. Strung. Nope, it's not there, but it might be here. And if it is, I will do it for you. And if not, I'll sing it for you when I get home. With string. The song is written by Bonnie Kolock, who is a Midwestern writer. And I haven't heard anything about her for the longest time, so I'm not sure what she's actually up to these days, or where she's up to either. Let's see, Star Strung with String. Let's put the word lyrics. Lyrics. There we go. And song lyrics from lyrics.com. Oh, that's not a good place to go find it. No, 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 no. That's useless. That's useless. Well, I think I'm going to have to. Well, I could just try it because maybe I know it all. I think I might know it. I just got to figure out the three places she was standing. She was standing by the dime store. She was standing on a corner. She was standing. What's the third place she was standing? Standing at a dime store. Standing. It may pop into my head. If not, there'll only be 2 verses. So, huh? Yes, willful ignorance. Yeah, you think I want to forget these songs? Oh, it's a good one. It's a really good one. I hate to say it. I don't think I can make it through. So I'm going to do this one instead. And we have our wedding quilt in the hallway of our stairwell up to the basement. And my sister made a square back. This would have been 40 years ago. She made a square. She forgot she even made it. She said, "Oh, that's pretty good. Somebody did a really good job." I said, "Well, that's the one that you made." And I was tickled because she made my song into a little square, and it was this song. And thank you all so much for having me here tonight. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Jesse on the sound, Jeff for introducing, and all the people who made the wonderful tidbits to eat tonight. So, and you have made my night wonderful because obviously I'm not in my best voice, I will say, but you have made it a wonderful evening, and thank you for your patience on that. So, let's see. Babies are born in a circle of the sun on their birthing day. Babies are born in a circle of the sun on their birthing day. Clouds to the north, clouds to the south, wind and rain to the east and the west. But babies are born in a circle of the sun on their birthing day. And children take their first step in a circle of the sun on their walking day. Children take their first step in a circle of the sun on their walking day. Clouds to the north, clouds to the south, wind and rain to the east and the west. But children take their first step in a circle of the sun on their walking day. And children speak their first word in a circle of the sun on the talking day. Children speak their first word in a circle of the sun on the talking day. Clouds to the north, clouds to the south, wind and rain to the east and the west. But children take their first step in a circle of the sun on their talking day. And I hope to be married in a circle of the sun on my wedding day. You know, I was married in a circle of the sun on my wedding day. Clouds to the north, clouds to the south, wind and rain to the east and the west. But I hope to be married in a circle of the sun on my wedding day. And I hope to die in a circle of the sun on my dying day. And spread my ashes in a circle of the sun on my dying day. Clouds to the north, clouds to the south, wind and rain to the east and the west. But spread my ashes in a circle of the sun on my dying day. And babies are born in a circle of the sun on their birthing day. Babies are born in a circle of the sun on their birthing day. Clouds to the north, clouds to the south, wind and rain to the east and the west. But babies are born in a circle of the sun on their birthing day. Thank you all so much.
Sally Rogers. Well, with all of that challenge of the cold and everything, would you give us one more? Oh, what a trooper, yeah.
I think I can play that one quite, but let's see here. How about, does anybody have something in mind that they particularly want to sing? Oh, Love Will Guide Us? Okay, this is page 131 in your Unitarian hymnal. So if you're a Unitarian, you might even know this song already. But in the Unitarian hymnal, when they sent me the proof to approve it, I approved the music because I thought that's what it was about. I just, and I approved it. But they didn't have the other lyrics with the music, and I just assumed that they were going to print the lyrics separately, but they didn't. There's 3 verses to this song, and there's only 1 in the Unitarian hymnal. So if you ever want the other 2 verses, just drop me a note, and I'll send them to you. Prep for this. Your part. And thanks again. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the dark night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the dark night. You are like no other being. What you can give, no other can give to the future of our precious children, to the future of the world where we live. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the dark night. Hear the song of peace within you. Heed the song of peace in your heart. Spring's new beginning shall lead to the harvest. Love will guide us on our way. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the dark night. Thank you all so much.
Let's hear it for Sally Rogers. We have a lot of people to thank tonight, but especially you guys for being here. This is such a treat to hear Sally Rogers in person, right? This is good stuff, good stuff. To do this concert series, we do it once a month from September to May, and it takes a labor of love and a lot of hard work. And I want to thank everybody, and I would like these people to stand up because a lot of times Jeff and I are here at the mic and other people aren't here on the mic. So I'd like to, especially Jesse Edwards on sound, and Jeff Mattson is the other person that helps us throughout the year too. Yay! I want to thank Tom O'Connor. He's our honorary member of our committee here. Thank you, Tom. And Jeff Kaufman, of course. Judy Beisler, stand up, Judy. Judy does all that stuff, the unsung stuff, getting everything, the emails out, getting publicity out, and more. And Dot Schultz Ames, who's Grandma's Attic and also does a lot of good stuff for music around this town, in this area. Pat Abraham, please stand up, Pat. Pat has been our treasurer for many years. Kathy Spindler, please stand up. And Kathy Spindler is helping us out with being our treasurer. But least, but not least, of course, how does that go? Last but not least, Katrina Burkow. Come on, Katrina. Katrina's amazing, just amazing. Thank you. Next year, we have an exciting series, and I hope you can come back again and again and again. It's a great place to be, to hear music. Live music is really nice when you have like a concert, rather than at a bar where other things are happening. You know, bottles and people getting up in the middle of your song, talking to the top of their lungs, whatever. This is a place where I believe people can really come and listen to the lyrics, listen to the person really express their songs. And Sally Rogers, what a trooper tonight. She didn't have it, but she was here. And she gave her all, and we all felt that all, didn't we? Yes. All right. Thank you all. Have a great summer. Don't forget June 3rd for the Hospitality Center and June 9th for Charlie King and the boat. I can't think of the name of it. The Golden Rule, of course, the Golden Rule. See you all. Be back, be safe, be careful.